Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions. Thank you again for our time together. Please vote early and vote once. The troublemakers always come out after dark. We're people of the light, so go vote early and vote once. Who should I vote for, Pastor? Vote for whoever you desire. It's not my role as your pastor to ever be involved in elections. My role as your pastor is to only talk to you about Jesus. Now, let me talk to you about his word for just a minute today. In the book of Daniel, chapter 18, I want you to begin to see the second part of some principles for David's success. Let's start reading with verse 5. Whatever Saul sent him to do, David did it so successfully that Saul gave him a high rank in the army. So David was successful, and his success is what brought promotion. Notice, read it again. Whatever Saul sent him to do, David did it so successfully that, this is the cause of it, Saul gave him a very high rank in the army. So David was successful in everything he set his hand to do. That success gave him promotion. But David knew where his success came from. Look with me at verses 12 to 14. Saul was afraid of David because the Lord was with David and had left Saul. So he sent David away from him and gave him a command over 1,000 men. And David led the troops in their campaigns. In everything he did, he had great success because the Lord was with him. Now, this is something that you and I can never forget. We are not successful because we're smarter than anybody else. We're not successful because we're better than anybody else. We're not successful because of anything about us. Please forgive me. We need to humble ourselves a little bit and recognize we are successful because God is with us. We are successful because God has chosen to put his presence upon our lives. Now, if you can ever get a hold of this truth and just stay humble before God, if you will humble yourself before him, he will raise you up. What he did for David, he will do for you. His presence is on your life. You are the temple of God. You are the temple of the Holy Spirit. His presence on you, his presence in you, his presence with you will give you success in all you set your hand to do. Just stay humble and never take the credit. Never say, well, I'm smarter than everybody else, or I've worked harder than everybody else. Just be humble and say, I'm successful because God is with me. But now there's another thing that you need to recognize. Success doesn't make everybody like you. Now, we see that the people liked him. It said this pleased all the people and Saul's officers as well in verse 5. And later we see that the people sang songs that Saul has killed this many, but David has killed his thousands. The people liked him. But recognize that the presence of God upon your life will make other people fear you. Saul was afraid of David because God was with him. When you get around people that God is not with, and they recognize that God is with you, those people are going to fear you. And fear makes people do some very strange things in life. You just keep yourself focused on God.